Welcome back to Exploring Pinellas. In this video, we are visiting Indian Rocks Beach. Indian Rocks Beach is located close to the middle of the barrier islands of Pinellas County. It's a roughly 2.5-mile stretch of land with an area of about 1.9 square miles. Its square mileage is less than its length because it has an average width of only 0.79 miles. I didn't look the width up. I just did the math. So I could be a little off on that one. The city goes from Central Avenue on its southmost point to 27th Avenue in the north. Gulf Boulevard is the road that runs from the very top to the very bottom of the barrier islands and is usually a 35-mile-per-hour 4-lane street, 2 northbound, 2 southbound. However, in Indian Rocks Beach, it shrinks to 2 lanes and slows to 30 miles per hour, meaning it's generally more pleasant to walk or bike here. The abundance of trees lining the sides of the road also provides some much appreciated shade during the middle of the day. Surprisingly, parking is one of the best parts of Indian Rocks Beach. There is actually free parking available. On most streets, you can look for a beach access public parking sign attached to the street sign post. The parking spots will also be labeled with these signs, but it can get a little confusing, so I'll explain. Usually, there will be a public parking sign on each end of a row of free public parking spots. This means that not every spot is specifically labeled, but they are all free parking. Make sure you don't park in any of the resident spots though, as you do need a permit to not get ticketed or towed. During the busy season, these spots fill up very quickly, but there is another option for free parking in the Indian Rocks Beach Nature Preserve, located between 9th and 10th Avenue. There's a very nice nature trail boardwalk here for those interested in checking out a bit more of the Florida animal and plant life. There is also a restroom area, small picnic spot, community garden, and dog park, making the nature preserve a nice day out in and of itself. Something I want to emphasize is that the spots I have been talking about are really, actually free to park in. On occasion, scammers will prey on tourists and claim that these spots cost money, collecting on whatever price they make up. Being aware of these kinds of scams is the first step in stopping them. So if you see anyone extorting for these spots, it's best to report them for fraud. At the very least, the cops will get them to go away and leave people alone. If all the free spots are taken, which does happen, every beach has an official paid parking beach access spot. The one for Indian Rocks Beach is located between 15th and 16th Avenue and features showers, restrooms, and easy beach access. Cost as of summer 2022 is $2.50 per hour. All parking closes at sundown, but you aren't instantly kicked out at that time. If you paid for your spot, you can continue to enjoy the beach after the sun is set, but generally it's a good idea to clear out before around 10 p.m. just to avoid getting a ticket. Now that we're parked, let's hit the beach. Indian Rocks Beach has soft sand, clear water, and faces due west. This means it's a great sunset beach to lounge on as the sun sinks slowly into the Gulf. Tide pools form easily on the beach during low tide because of multiple sandbars located a few feet between each other. These pools are great for finding sea critters or just playing around in. The water is naturally clear during most of the year and has very little in the way of seaweed, so swimming or using watercraft such as kayaks and paddleboards is very easy. Water temperature ranges from around 61 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 degrees Celsius, in January to 88 degrees Fahrenheit, 31.7 degrees Celsius, in August. The tide on the Gulf tends to be pretty mild, which means it's not the best area for surfing. However, as long as there are no major storms brewing offshore, even small children will be able to handle the waves as they roll gently in. Because of the sandbars at Indian Rocks, the waves break at varying distances from the shore and don't tend to gather much force. As for the fishing, I had no trouble catching 6 little whiting while casually casting from the first sandbar using frozen shrimp as bait. In Florida, whiting are an unlimited catch species with no minimum size requirements. They can be difficult to clean and fillet if they're very small, but I guess it depends on just how much you want fresh fish for dinner. Wherever there are whiting, there are sure to be pompano nearby. A pompano rig with sand fleas as bait makes a great setup to catch these fish. They are wonderful fighters and quite tasty. Unlike whiting, however, there is a minimum keeper size of 11 inches, fork length. so it's likely you'll be throwing a few back before landing a big one. There is no official season for whiting or pompano, so they can be harvested at any time of the year. Although we'd like to do some more in-depth videos about restaurants and cafes, it would be a shame not to mention Tropical Ice Cream and Coffee, located on 5th Avenue and Gulf Boulevard, right across the street from the Indian Rocks Beach sign. They offer upwards of 70 ice cream and sorbet flavors in cup or cone, and we always get some whenever we visit the beach. It's one of our favorites. Almost next door is Krabby Bill's, which has nearly daily live music. The restaurant is open air, so the music being played drifts out and can be enjoyed nearby as well as in the dining room or bar. Whether dining in, hanging out nearby, or just walking past, it adds a really fun, laid-back, and cool vibe. Our day on the beach has been a lot of fun, but after we watched the sunset and it started to get dark, we had to pack up our stuff and head back home. Indian Rocks is one of our favorite beaches for its quiet atmosphere and beautiful views. It's not well known by tourists, so it tends to be a little less crowded as well. We highly recommend spending a day or two on this beach. We think you'll be glad you did. Thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you next time as we continue exploring Pinellas.